here at Rite Aid, and they're having a 50% off sale for diecast. Let's see what we can find here. Ooh, Fiat Taxi with a broken bumper, but I could probably fix that. I'm gonna look for stuff that I might be able to fix that I would normally not get, but that I could maybe fix for half off. Here's a Ford Crestliner, Sunliner, something like that, convertible. The Hummer has a missing sunroof, it looks like. BMW Z4. Alright, we'll get those. Alright, well, I got myself 3 quick DIY projects from Rite Aid. We have the Fiat 500 Taxi, the BMW Z4, and the Ford Crestline Sunliner. I think I got the name wrong when I was in the store, but as you can see, it's a pullback car. And for this one, it actually did not have the rear bumper in place. So what I did was, I got a piece of metal that I had in my spare parts bin, and I bent it to look like a bumper. And I installed it on the model with 2 drops of white glue, and it held up pretty nice. But as you can see, it does have the opening doors, and it's a pretty well detailed model too. It's kind of a shame that it was damaged, but I was able to fix it with that bumper, or that bumper that I made, I guess I should say. Then we have this BMW Z4 with the top up. This one, when I picked it up, actually had a loose screw inside of it. It was actually just in the interior on one of the seats. And then it turned out, and I did actually take apart the car. It does have the opening doors, as you can see here. That it was actually holding part of the interior in place with the body. There was actually a screw on the front, in front of the dashboard, or 2 screws, I should say. One of them had become loose, so I put that back on in the Z4. And then for this Fiat 500 Taxi, what I did was I took the front bumper that was loose and I glued it on the one side, and I actually took off the 2 extra chrome pieces that were on the back. I left the rear bumper on, but there was actually 2 additional chrome pieces that were actually mounted under each of the taillights. I took those off. The taxi sign was actually nice and secure on there, shockingly. And the doors are nice and stiff too. But I'm surprised the taxi symbol or sign wasn't broken off. There's the interior, as you can see here. It is about 1/24th scale, or it should be at 1/24th scale, I should say. It does roll nice and smooth as well. The one wiper is actually bent a little bit, so I had to kind of bend that back in place. But in the end, it was nice to be able to get these 3 cars for, half price and be able to fix the minor problems that they had. And now they're pretty much complete in terms of models. So yeah, I was definitely glad that I stopped and Rite Aid and got these models for sure. And speaking of repairing diecast models with various spare parts, I wanted to give a quick update on my model car parts bin, I guess we'll call it, or parts bins at this point. I did make a video a little while back where I showed the different spare parts that I've been keeping and what types of spare parts may be of use to you as a model car collector, or someone who may just be, interested in building models, or if you perhaps, found a beat up model that you want to repair or replace parts on. Here are all of the different spare parts that I've gathered up over the years. When I showed the video, I had everything kind of laid out on my desk, and I didn't have as many parts back then as I do now. But I was able to get some more organization bins, and a couple of them even have lids on them, as you see back here. And then I have 2 different tool sets in here as well. I have the Zip Zaps kit, which actually is not complete at this point. I have to get a replacement cleaning brush, but I actually have a separate cleaning brush from this kit. And then I have this Pro tool set, which has various screwdriver attachments and a set of pliers and some other, just small tools and everything that are, I think, good to have on hand. And then some random little Lego and train parts in the back here. But the main things, of course, that I have in this drawer are parts for my model cars. So I have wheels for small scale cars in this little bin here. There's a random interior piece that actually should go in this bin. Then I have different parts for police car models in this bin here. That's actually a partition from a Ford Crown Victoria there on top. Then I have some random little odds and ends and HO train parts in this one here. And then in this little bin here, I have various springs and actually a random pullback motor and some other random components like stickers and other items like that. and lots of screws as well. I've actually used screws from this bin several times, including for that BMW Z4 that I got from Rite Aid that you just saw. And then up in the front here, I have various interior components for 1/18 scale model cars like seats, door panels, and steering wheels and whatnot, and also some for 1/24 scale cars as well. And then in this one back here, I have various exterior components for a variety of different models of different scales, including this body for a Franklin Mint Thunderbird that I parted out a little while back because it was beat up when I got it, and various components like for model car engines and whatnot are in here as well, and some random doors as you see too. Then in the back here, I have a bin full of wheels and tires for 1/24 scale model cars. You can see some different wheels for various cars, such as Ferraris, Vipers, and some, 4x4 wheels and tires and whatnot. And this actually does have a lid that closes on it. I found these two bins from the Dollar Tree, and then I found these open bins from Amazon a long while back, but I did actually show these bins off in the previous video that I did about my collection, I guess we'll say, of spare parts for my model cars. And then of course in this bin in the back here, I have various wheels and tires for 1/18 scale model cars as well, and some different steering systems in there, and sets of axles as well. So yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update on my collection of various spare parts for my model cars, because it has been a while since I made that video. I made that video back in September of 2022, and it did pretty good in terms of views and whatnot. In that video, I mainly communicated the fact that it's always a good idea to save, your beat up models for the purpose of perhaps using some parts from them in the future. And I did forget to mention that a lot of the wheels that you see in the 1/24 scale bin were actually extra sets of wheels that were included in 1/24 scale model kits as well. So if you ever get kits like those, I think it's a good idea to save the wheels from those, just to have, some additional sets of wheels in case you might need them for any model car projects you might be encountering in your time as a collector. So I figured it'd be a good idea to just follow up on that video with a little component at the end of this video where I did repair those 3 cars from Rite Aid. So I thought it would be fitting to show a quick update of the various spare parts that I have for my models. So yeah, and again, like I sort of said in the video that I did that was devoted to spare parts collecting for model cars, you never know when you might be needing a component. So if you have a model that you want to get rid of that's beat up, you can just part it out, and then maybe some of the parts from that model might be of use to you for future models that you'll get in years to come. And you can even buy models just for that purpose. Like let's say you're working on a project die-cast or a plastic model of some sorts, and you find maybe a beat up version of that model online that has parts that you're missing from, the good model, I guess we'll say, that you happen to have and are working on. And that would be a good purchase to make, because then you're getting a donor car that will have parts for that specific model. So just something to keep in mind there. But yeah, I figured I would just finish off the video by showing you an update, I guess, on the various spare parts that I've collected and have been using for my various model cars of various sizes. So yeah, feel free to comment down below with your thoughts on those 3 project cars that I got from Rite Aid, or on my collection of spare parts for model cars. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.